this is what we're dealing with. I think my next step is, so I made a rookie mistake. Like start the repairs, so he took off this thing. They're not very pretty. With the green that I mixed. Hey friends, it's been a while since I've posted my last video, and maybe you noticed something different. I was crazy enough to paint my apartment, and it was quite the undertaking. I didn't do it myself, but because I wanted it well done, and I also had some repairs. I don't even know where to start in this video. I'm a bit sick, so excuse my sniffles as well. And I hope you've made it well into the new year. I'm super stoked. And a lot of things have happened since, the whole month of December, I feel. I was crazy enough to kind of last minute, the week before Christmas, I decided to repaint my apartment. And it was quite, I had it in my mind for quite some time, but then to pull the trigger was kind of like a spontaneous thing. It was a week of me living on a construction site. It was not so pleasant, but I got through it and I'm really glad I did. But let me just catch you up on everything else I've done, and how I spent my Christmas. I went to Amsterdam with a friend of mine and I spent a week there, and it was really cool. I feel like if you want Christmas vibes and an escape to a different city, Amsterdam is the thing to do. I really loved also being by the water. We lived in the northern part of Amsterdam, so every day we took the little ferry back and forth, and I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that proximity to water and having more of that element around. And the decorations, the wreaths, the little canals. I mean, you know the drill. You know what Amsterdam is like. It was perfect. Just walking around, exploring, making random little design purchases. That was really cool. And then I got back for New Year's, and since then, you know, it's just this weird period between Christmas and New Year's and then going back to work where time doesn't really exist, and it's a bit of a weird feeling. I will be going back tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 5th, so today I've been busy preparing that, and I'm gonna pop to the studio in a while. But because the sun is going down and I always feel like I'm in such a rush to like catch the best time to record a video without it being dark, I was like, okay, let's do it now. And yes, I want to walk you through my whole process. I've documented quite some bits, and also it was a bit of a journey. So I made a mood board, so I knew what kind of vibe I wanted from my apartment. And in my mood board, it's 3 different parts of my apartment that I wanted to change. So definitely paint the kitchen. I wanted it to be a light beige. My main studio, I wanted in like really sagey, very French, probably very sagey, art deco, calm kind of green. A while back, probably in like October, November, I did test a few colors. Oh my god, I've been waiting for this all of last week. I finally got these paint samples from a company called Clint. They're Swedish. So nice. So this is the company, Clint. And so they have
these samples, and they're hand painted. So this is not printed, this is painted. So it actually also has this like texture, and they're super soft, and I can't wait. So for this room, also I'm like stressing because it's like 7 p.m. and I'm like, oh no, it's getting dark. And I ordered 8 samples total. The first, also it's interesting because it's kind of like interesting to see what they looked online and what they look in real life. So these two, oh my god, these are so good. So for this room, I want to have like a sage green because I feel like it's going to be super cozy and nice, because I have the evening sun. So the sun is, especially in the summer, it hits at like 9 p.m. And right now, I mean, I got home just now at 7 p.m. so it's already gone. I don't have direct light. But yeah, I want to live with this for a while. So I'm gonna stick these to the wall. I'm not sure, should I put it over the bed or on the wall? Maybe on the wall. And the cool thing is that you can move them around. So just because I stick them here for now, doesn't mean I can, doesn't mean I can't move them afterwards, see? It's pretty easy. Oh my god, it's so cool. Oh god, I've been anticipating this for ages. It's interesting to see because yeah, the other one is quite dark, isn't it? Interesting. So I also got these off-whites. They're going to be interesting in the kitchen. So much fun. Okay, let me stick this everywhere. Let me stick this to where it belongs. So I knew I wanted quite a strong kind of beige. And for the green, it was hard. I tested out 2 colors from Clint. One was too dark and the other one was way too yellow. It was just not really, didn't really fit the bill. And for the entryway, that was the trickiest one. I imagined something really cozy, really moody, really dark. So when you come into the apartment, it's very enveloping and very welcoming, and you immediately feel like you've arrived in your little cocoon, something very intimate. Also, it's a very narrow space, so I wanted to get rid of everything in the entryway to not have this feeling of like everything is crammed and you have like even a hard time like putting your shoes down. And so I wanted it to be super empty but kind of dark and moody. And I thought maybe like a cherry red or a really dark walnut brown. And I tested quite a few colors from different companies. And at some point, I just really thought that why not just wallpaper the whole entryway to also give it some texture? Because I thought it's kind of boring if it's just everywhere, you know, you just kind of like color block and you have different types of colors, but no texture. At the end of the day, guys, it's always about the texture. So I decided to go on a hunt for wallpaper, which was also not so straightforward, but I found one that was really good balance between quality and cost. So yes, for my studio, I did find a really good green. At one point on my, I don't know, 5th trip to Leroy Merlin, which is a home improvement store here in France, I just took like a little
like, I don't know how many milliliters, but like a test pot of a green that I wanted to try out. And as soon as I painted it on the wall, it felt right. And I painted quite a large patch, and I had lived with that patch for, I don't know, a long time. Maybe it was 2 months, give or take. So I knew that green was perfect and this is what I wanted. And in December, when I took the decision, and I had also gone on, on the search for finding a person that would do that, not necessarily a company, but you need kind of like a professional. And that person came over. So my little paint guy, Mohammed, his name was, he even came over and said, well, let me see the apartment so then I can give you a quote and we kind of look at what has to be done. And that was really good because I didn't even realize how much had to be fixed. There were quite a lot of cracks in the wall at one point, also around some of the outlets. I recently learned that it's not plugs, it's outlets. Okay, plug is what you stick into the outlet, but the outlet is not a plug. And the outlets, around the outlets, like the parts of the wall was like cracked open, kind of like lifted, so it's quite damaged. There were quite a lot actually, damaged pieces, cracks and fissures, cracks in the walls. And so he explained the whole process, the whole thing, because also some sort of like primer that he had to put and then had to dry. And so he explained like all the steps, and it took 5 days in total. The first 2 days were fine. On the first day, he came over, I had packed everything, we put everything into the middle of the room, and he put foil everywhere, protected my stuff. And he got to work by basically chopping open and like taking out all the paint cracks. And so I could really see how many patches there were, because he took all of them off and before repairing them. And this is what I found at the end of day 1.
This is what we're dealing with. Can you believe that this is where I slept tonight? I mean, it was a night. So, okay, thank you for the noise. So I just quickly wanted to, so early in the morning, this guy. But it's kind of nice to get up this early, so maybe I can keep up the routine. So I just wanted to show you what happened yesterday. So he packed everything up, covered everything, like everything. And then he started to, start the repairs. So he took off this thing there was like a thing that was like glued on for television cables. There was also obviously a television hanging here. So he's gonna fix that too. And yeah, like these were all like cracks, and especially here where the paint or the wall was like peeling off. So this is what it looks like right now. So you have all these repairs that are going to happen. Like even my entryway. Can you believe that this is my entryway? Everything is like stuffed in my closet. So yeah, So also here you have the repairs. I will also change the light switches and stuff because I feel like they're not very pretty. So yeah, big repair here, here, and yeah, so this is what's happening today. Today is Wednesday, and to be honest, I hope that this guy gets it done, at least the main part, like the main room, the big studio. I hope he gets it done until Saturday, because Saturday I will be, I found this really nice buffet, like console, that will go here, like this whole wall. It will go here, and I'm going to pick this up on Saturday. Like, I had a peek on Sunday and it looks pretty good. It has a nice storage, really good condition. It's like a high gloss finish, so it looks very art deco, and I'm excited. So I hope that this will be done by Saturday. So let's pray.
On day 2, I had come back and I wasn't really prepared. I thought, you know, he's gonna, I don't know, crack on with whatever he had to do. But I came back home and it was not pretty, because as soon as I walked in the apartment, a really strong stench hit me. And I was like, oh my fucking God, I cannot stay tonight. It's impossible. So I had to find someone where I could like stay over. So here is day 2.
I just got home and I don't know if I can sleep here tonight. Like, this is getting a bit intense as an experience. Let me show you. So, I mean, he did a great job. Look at all of this. He, like every nook and cranny, he fixed everything. And we also took off this cable. There was the TV cable. So now it all made sense, because here there were the holes, because the TV was mounted, and there was this thing that went up here. And then we realized there was a cable that went all around, but not just here. It went from here all the way back there, down, and then it was plugged in there. So it was total nonsense. So I was like, let's take it off. But I mean, look at this situation. Also, I opened the window because it was just so... it just smells like, I don't know, some sort of product. So this is the entryway. So he also did reparations here everywhere. And so I think that tomorrow he's going to sandpaper. So I also told him to take out the lamp, because I want to change the lamp, like obviously. I'm in total changing mode. Okay, so, and I think this is drying up. So this is why here there are like weird bubbles, and it looks wet. Like it looks like this is like drying, and then here it looks like wet. So yeah, I don't even know if this is healthy, what I'm doing. And I just got back from the gym. So I'm in desperate need of like a snack and a protein shake. And then I have poker night, so I'm seriously considering asking my friend if I can stay over at her place, because yeah, this is a bit... Yesterday was okay because there was not really any like smell, but yeah, this is now, I'm starting to kind of doubt this, if this is okay what I'm doing here, because I thought, yeah, it's a bit intense, I must say. Yeah. So yeah, I'll keep you posted on what I ended up doing.
On day 3, his buddy came along. Yes, so from day 3 onwards, there were 2 guys hanging out and working on my apartment. And they started painting. And I got back from day 3 and they had done maybe, let's say, 2/3 of the apartment. And I got back and I was like, this screen looks off. Because I had committed a rookie mistake. How I chose the paint, because I had the samples from Clint, the beige that I wanted in the kitchen and the green that I wanted in my main room. I just thought, you know what? I just go to Leroy Merlin and they have this workshop where they mix your bespoke paint. And I thought they can scan the paint and then mix it and it will be exactly the same. So this is what I did for my kitchen and this is what I did for my main studio. And I had all the paint prepared. I had the wallpaper ordered and I thought we're good to go. He gets to work and everything will be fine. Here is what I come back to on day 3.
So I made a rookie mistake. This is what it looks like today. With the green that I mixed. But I thought it was a bit too dark. So this is the real color.
Yes, also on day 4, the stench was, they did another primer. I don't know why they had to do 2 sessions of like the primer. Primer is like really horrible, really unpleasant. And they did another primer application and I had to stay over another time at a friend's house. My friend Abby, who was kind enough to host me on her couch, where I had a wonderful night of sleep. I was tired by that point. And I woke up the next day because on Le Bon Coin, which, you know, I buy a lot of stuff secondhand, I had found the perfect console. And I was so in love with this console, I had to have it. It was a bit of a back and forth with the seller. Apparently it was the first time for him selling something on that platform, so it was a bit odd, but like I just did what I needed to do because I wanted that console. And I had organized the transport and 2 guys, and so Saturday I picked it up around like 11:30, brought it here, left it in the hallway, and then just went out for lunch and came back around, I don't know, 4 maybe. And yeah, so the guys had finished up all the edges, cleared everything up, and I was good to go with my newly painted apartment. I mean, after that it took me another, but that was kind of like the good part. It was like I was exhausted, but like in a good way. It was kind of like, oh my god, I've made it towards the end. I'd made it to the end of this project, which was, you know, a bit intense also before Christmas, everything accumulating, but in a good way. And with this new console, I have so much more space. All my shoes fit in there, all my books fit in there. It's just so good. It feels like a totally fresh slate. And so over Christmas, I mean, I just spent a lot of time on Le Bon Coin again. And right now I'm sourcing a lot of lights. I need a light for the entryway and I need another light for my kitchen. And I've ordered 2 table lamps for my console because I want it to be symmetrical. So I'll just keep updating you guys as these things arrive, and also maybe some of my purchases that I did in Amsterdam. Next thing I'm gonna do, priorities, you know. Next priority is to get my big window professionally cleaned, because yeah, before installing curtains, so have yet to find the right one. I did go, yes, also another update. Oh my god, I feel like I have so many things. Because for the curtains, on the outskirts of Paris, there is a region, or like an area, it's called Bobigny. And it's a very weird industrial area. Lots of big warehouses. You don't even know what's in there. It's a bit crazy, and you kind of have to know where you're going. But they have like fabric outlets, so it's kind of very discounted dead stock fabrics basically. And so I thought, let me go there, because my friend Noemi, who has a fashion line, she buys all of her fabrics there. And I thought, cool, let me go there, let me find curtains. Nice, maybe like a nice silk and stuff. But I knew that I had to dig. Like, mind you, it's a bit of a dig. And I did realize that for curtains, it's not the perfect place to shop, because it's mostly fashion fabrics and they're just unfortunately too narrow. And I found 3 really, really, really nice fabrics. They're €3 a meter, so cost really nothing. And what I want to do with this is maybe definitely make some of my silk pillowcases and use them for my bedding. This is definitely what I will do. And also maybe have like a little cushion here and there with the other fabric. And with the darker gray fabric, I'm really considering to maybe get like a custom ruffled lampshade. So I would really like to get like a floor lamp and have a ruffled lampshade. So I'm very mindful of putting darker accents into the space, because right now the light green, also like, can you see how dark it is right now? Because also the light green is very soft, and there is also like the console is kind of like a dark wood, and the wooden floor is really dark, but my rug is a light buttery yellow, and so I'm very mindful of putting like darker accents in the space. And a floor lamp would be a good one, also with like a ruffled lampshade in this really cool silk fabric. And the silk fabrics that I bought, I talked to the guy, and it was interesting because, you know, I don't really come from like a fashion, like classic fashion tailoring background. And he explained that those fabrics that I was digging through, I mean, they had so many good fabrics. Like, I could have bought 10 different fabrics. They were so good. And I was like, Nina, like, brace yourself. Like, buy a little bit, but you can always come back. But don't buy 10 different fabrics just for buying different fabrics. You don't even know if they match your color scheme. So hold off. But it was so good. And so he explained to me that those jacquard silk fabrics, those are dead stock fabrics of mainly ties, which makes sense. So they're like a meter, I don't know, like not that wide. But if you're in Paris, I urge you to go there. Seriously, it's a bit of a trek, but it's so good. Like, not the second one. The second one I had a hard time checking out and like finding, and I'm not really sure. And it was like I went to a different warehouse and was a mess. But the first one that I went to, it was really well curated, quite orderly. And of course you have to like search a bit, but really good. It was pleasant to go there. I had a good experience, so I really, really enjoyed that. So that's in terms of fabrics. And yeah, I think that's it for today. I basically just wanted to let you know how my whole paint journey went and how that project kind of turned out and where I'm at with my little home makeover. And honestly, it's the best. I feel like curating your home is so I don't know, it's like self-care. It's like, for me, it's literally self-care. It's like taking care of my living space and not accepting like a mediocre kind of way. Because if you rent, you easily fall into this, oh, but like it doesn't really make sense, or like, why would I put money into a space that is like not mine? Especially in Paris, I feel like everybody's so obsessed with, oh, do you own or do you rent? And I'm like, I'm good with renting because I don't have all these problems with, you know, extra repairs, or I have no responsibility really for this apartment other than to keep it in good shape. And I'm happy to paint, and I'm happy to invest that money in order to have the space reflect my style and come home and just like be happy every day. Because I cannot tell you how different it is for me to come back into an empty entryway. It has been the best. I feel like before, like it was so narrow and was so cramped. I don't even know how it was possible for me to live like that for such a long time. But now that it's just empty and nothing is there, and I can fling the door wide open and this brown cozy wallpaper is welcoming me, it was a total game changer for me. And it's totally worth it. And also my little faux pas with the green, no. As soon as I saw that, and as soon as I realized this is not the right green, I knew that I had to go immediately and fix it, because otherwise, every single day I would have stared at the wall, I would have bitten myself in my ass, and because I would have thought every single day, every single second of the day, at home, I would have thought, this is not the right green. I know it's not the right green. So it was worth it, and, you know, paid a little lesson, but now I know that paint is not paint and pigment is not pigment, and that's fine. I'm gonna keep you posted about whatever I'm up to in my apartment in the coming weeks and months. And thank you for coming on this journey, and I'm always happy to read your comments, and also if you share anecdotes from your life, I always appreciate that a lot. And I see you next time. Bisous.